Hello guys and welcome back to another video on my channel. In recent times I always get a question when you're starting out with trading, what are the easiest items to trade? And what are items that you should buy if you're starting out at trading for the first time? And I want to answer this question in this video. If you look at the tradability of an item, it always depends on two factors. How many people want the skin? And we will determine this by the volume of sales or trades on the Steam market. And the second thing it would be if this item is something special. So if it has rare stickers, if it has a rare float, or if it has a rare pattern. To find out how easy your item is to trade, we have to go to the Steam market. There are other sources, like you can go to Steam Analyst and all the other sites that track the sales and the price of an item, but we will go to the Steam market. The Steam market by default is sorted by the popularity of an item, so how many times it is sold. Most popular are in the front and the least popular are in the back. You have to keep in mind that it only lists, of course, it only lists items that are on offer on the market at the moment. So if an item is so unpopular that it doesn't have a listing at the moment, it's not listed here. And you have also to take into account that these values should be taken with a grain of salt. So for example, cases get sold, especially the new cases get sold 1,000 times a day. So of course they are on the first page. But you want to look at items, I can recommend that the least value an item of you should have should be the old value of 1 key. And I personally don't really accept items when I trade that are under €1 or better more than €2.50, so around 1 key. We will look for items like this. So we go to the second side and we will see the trading item himself, the AK Redline field tested condition. It's an item with a pretty stable price. I mean, it has gone up and down, but the price is for an item that is this old pretty stable, and it's a cool skin you can use in game. And yeah, and it's sold a lot of times a day. And if you're offering an AK Redline on a market or something, it's pretty common that you get a lot of offers every day. We will go to the next side to see what we find. We will only look at items that are, like I said, over €2.50 or €1, and we will ignore items like this because this is a new sticker. Of course, in the first days it gets sold very often. These are items that are too high or too low. Let's see what we find. And we see the AK Phantom Disruptor in field test condition. It's the most common condition. It's a popular skin. It's an AK skin. So of course it gets sold a lot. Here we have the AK Neon Revolution, M4A4 Cyber Security, all-time favorites. And if you have items like this, it's a really good point to start trading. And if you can get these items in trades, it's always better because there's a big chance that you will be able to sell it or trade it a lot faster than if you have a really unpopular item. Now for comparison, we will go to the last page. Oh, holy shit, there are a lot of CSGO items at the moment, and see the most uncommon and unpopular items at the moment. Like I said before, these are not the most unpopular because at least there is one on the market at the moment. Yeah, we will look at these two, for example. These are factory new skins, old factory new skins that are really rare in factory new condition. So let's go for the Scar Splash Gem. And yeah, you see it says like once every 6 months or something. And if you have this one, it will take some time until you find somebody that takes it. And in most cases, or most trader will say, I don't take this item by the full value, because all the traders know it will take a lot of time until you can retrade it. So this item sells for like 280. Yeah, it's at 250 is the buy order, so let's say it for 280, 300. But I don't think that any traders will give you that price because they know it's not worth it. So let's go a little bit further. And yeah, you will see a lot of StatTrak knives, especially StatTrak knives in bad conditions. The worst condition most of the time you can have is well-worn, because it's so rare to get a StatTrak well-worn knife. But you see that these are all StatTrak knives. The factory new case hardened is also a really, really rare item. So you see that these are all pretty rare items. And if you have one of these, it's really hard to get rid of them. If you're trading, you have to keep in mind, if you're getting a good deal, like for example, you are offered 2 trades. In one trade, you get €10 profit, but you get a factory new knight, for example. And on the other trade, you get €5 profit, but with really liquid and good items. Most of the time, it's better to take liquid items, even though you don't make that much profit. Because if you look at the long run, like if you go 5 months later, you probably traded all your liquid items. And only with luck you have traded your Factory Unite for a good price. So that's like a tip I can give you. Let's look at how the pattern can determine the tradability of an item. Let's go with the Karambit Case Hardened for this example. The Karambit Case Hardened is a pretty popular skin, also if you ignore the pattern and the value it could have. But if you have a blue gem, it really depends on what tier you have. If you have one of the best tiers in the game, it's more likely that you will find good offers for this than you have some mid-range tier. Because in a game like CSGO, especially with high tier trading, the people only want the cheapest, so normal market prices, or they want the best, they want the highest tiers they can get. So if you have something in between, it can happen that it takes a long time until you find somebody, because you will only get offers for the base price of your knife, but in most cases you don't want to trade it for that, because you know, yeah, the pattern looks so cool, I want a little bit more for that. But not many people look for these mid-range tiers, because if you look for a cool blue gem, you most likely know that you're going to spend a lot of money and then you want the best anyway. The same thing applies to float, stickers and patterns, but it's really dependent on the skin and the pattern and the sticker, so it's really hard to say for once what is the easiest way. It's always a combination of both. Let's take my gut Doppler phase 2 for example. I get a lot of offers for this because gut knife Doppler is one of the most popular knives in the game, but the problem is the phase 2 is a little bit more pricey and most of the offers I get are market price offers. So they offering me because they just want the gut Doppler and not the phase 2. So most of the trades I have to decline because I know it's worth more than market price. So in most cases it's a combination of both, but you have a good item, at least you're getting a lot of offers and you can talk to people and maybe somebody says, oh yeah, that's a good pattern, I will pay more for that. Yeah, I think that wraps it up pretty good. Thanks for watching guys. Feel free to subscribe and like. I am Neon and I see you guys in the next one.